Stakes over the 1,000, and Barabba Road in the market. 4:10 about Danabar, Grayson Power a chance, Shalbeck now at 480, Fragmentation given some chance, Eli Kusam, it's at 330 and is the fave, the Perth Galloper, and support for Brilliant Jewel. Steve Baster's right there.
Grayson Power's ready. Fragmentation right in barrier 1, Danabar in 2. A lot of the trainers from the previous race complaining about the lack of speed in the Rain Lover plate, and most of them pressing on with their plans to the Carlton Draft Stakes. Mark Kavanagh will maintain a course to the Derby, headed up by the feature, the Verve Clico Stakes, coming up in the next couple of weeks. Now forward goes Sheer Revenge. Sheer Revenge now ready. We wait on Eli Corsam, also Brilliant Jewel, Barabba Road, Live in Vain, and Missy Vivian. Sheer Revenge is now ready. Diamonds and Chalk set. Now forward comes Military Habit. Reese McLeod picked up the ride on Thor's Daughter in race 7. That is number 13, Reese McLeod, as Eli Corsam goes in. Forward comes Live in Vain. And that should leave Barabba Road to 12. Quality field for the KPMG Stakes. First 3 exempt from ballot on the Yalambee Classic, our feature 3-year-old sprint race in SA. And that's on the 8th of May. Racing in the KPMG Stakes, and beginning very nicely near the inside was Danabar, showing good speed. Fragmentation, Military Habit, Grayson Power, Eli Corsam's Burning Turf. Eli Corsam's going to cross down, and lead, I'd say, from Grayson Power. Up there, Brilliant Jewel, then Live in Vain, followed by Military Habit, Danabar from Diamonds and Chalk. Further back, Barabba Road wide out between runners. Chablais, but about 7 off the lead at the 500. Around Fragmentation, Missy Vivian and Sheer Revenge. It's Eli Corsam leading on the turn. She's reluctant to go down on the inside. Grayson Power has the rails, coming through to join her. In third position on the outside of those, Brilliant Jewels. Chablais starting to work home, goes back to the inside. Got blocked by Military Habit. Here's Danabar out of the pack, running on. Grayson Power went to the lead. Eli Corsam gone. Grayson Power, Military Habit running a huge race. Chablais getting through late. It's Chablais diving through the middle. Chablais from well back will win the KPMG. Chablais a half on the line. Military Habit 3/4 away. Third, Grayson Power. Danabar and Barabba Road, a big run late on the outside from Sheer Revenge, working between runners. Then Brilliant Jewel, followed in by Fragmentation, and further back Missy Vivian. Eli Corsam may have beaten one to the line, if that. Diamonds and Chalk, the time 56.75. Paul Gatt on Chablais, who last started Flemington, proved a difficult ride for Brady Cross. It was a little bit erratic, and I think Cross was using the whip in a different hand that particular day, but a narrow defeat on that occasion. Some say he should be unbeaten. Geez, a talented horse. He's given some good sprinters a start and a thrashing, really. Military Habit, what a run at odds, number 12. Was purely and simply brilliant at Oakbank in a 3-year-old open handicap. And Reese McLeod almost pulled off a massive result there at odds for those that may have backed that filly. And number 3 is third, Grayson Power. He's gutsy. He didn't give it away easily. Chris Bryant, David Belfer, 5-12-3-1. Abject failure, Eli Corsam.
Yeah, disappointing, but Chablais thanks Hilton after the running of the 5th, with Military Habit and Grayson Power, and 4th to number 1, Barabba Road. After the running of the 3-year-old listed race, the KPMG Stakes there at Cheltenham. Now, Ascot, the second, not far off. They're moving in. Prince of Vassac still odds on $1.90. Western Tycoon 5.
And Storm, the only 2 runners left to complete the lineup here at the 1400 as the starter. Todd Play.
Artificial and Al Mark. 3 winners to Gay Waterhouse and 3 to Chris Mutz. And in this one, Chris is on Belle Feline resuming. The owners like her being called Belle Feline, not Belle Feline. And up to line comes the well-tried Mimsicle. Lost a plate here last start. She's in for Huey Bowman, and they're ready to run. This is the 6th of the day at Royal Randwick. A field of 8. Starter has the button. presses same, and there they go. Mimsicle out nicely from the outside, but she won't lead. Belle Feline and Isla Christina headed by Star of Gibraltar. Not far back as they settle Classy Dane, then My Check Chick, a length and a half Gregatious. Second last in the field is Incarnation, and immediately Mimsicle, who jumped well, has dropped out to last. They work their way down by the 800 marker, and the speedy Star of Gibraltar leads about 3. Isla Christina, Belle Feline tracking wide, My Check Chick, then Classy Dane. Gregatious, the Rail, Mimsicle and Incarnation are the last pair. This is the order. At the 600 marker, and Star of Gibraltar leads about 2 lengths. Isla Christina, Belle Feline third, and another 2 lengths Classy Dane, who's close enough to the inside from My Check Chick. Mimsicle working around the outside from Gregatious and Incarnation. Star of Gibraltar straightens up, and at the 350 leads about 2 lengths or so. Mimsicle given full rein on the outside from Isla Christina. My Check Chick, Classy Dane under the whip. Here's Mimsicle out after Star of Gibraltar, and Isla Christina battles on between them. Nothing else a chance, but they knew what they were doing here. Mimsicle backed off the map, race clear of Isla Christina, and Mimsicle for the money. Isla Christina second, My Check Chick third, then Star of Gibraltar, followed by Incarnation, Classy Dane, Gregatious and Belle Feline.
Mimsicle, yes, late plunge there, and Hugh Bowman, the winning rider for Gary Portelli. It was a nice win over Isla Christina and My Check Chick 278. And for fourth, it looks like Star of Gibraltar. We'll check that out. But the winner, Mimsicle, too good there.
Short, ripping Nick on course. Nevertheless, it is well supported. Just looking for a little bit of value here. I settled on number 5, Old Friends Gold. I just thought after the claim here, it was a little bit unlucky last start at Caulfield. It did win very, very easily at Strathalbyn on slow ground, and I just thought it'd roll along, if not...
And that'll leave St Barbara, the Travis Harrison Cup, named in memory of a wonderful young guy who was tragically taken from us on Mother's Day a few years ago. And this a well sought after race by the young riders who line up in this year's edition. They're all in, set to go. Infinity the inside. Ready, they're off. And Ripping Nick, again, just a little slow, as she usually does. She settles at the end, and first out, Lara stands here from Sky Tip in the light blue colours, driving over. Up there, Make a Stand and Gulf Mistress, and they were followed then by Infinity on the rails as they make that run to the bottom turn, and Old Friends Gold presses on wide out. They enter the back straight with Lara Stancia in front, a length and a half clear. Sky Tip goes up into second placing, and they're followed by Infinity on the inside of Make a Stand, 1 to Old Friends Gold. Then Desert Marauder in the red and white colours being trailed a length and a half to Ripping Nick, who's got a good way back on the inside. Gulf Mistress went around her, and St Barbara last of all. Round the 800 metres turn now, and Lara Stancia the leader by a length and a half. Sky Tip second, Infinity the inside is third, followed by Make a Stand. Old Friends Gold whipping up wide on the course, being followed then by Desert Marauder. And then came St Barbara in a bunching field from Gulf Mistress, and Ripping Nick's going to play for luck coming from last. At the 500 metres, Lara stands here in front, 3/4 clear to Sky Tip, and Old Friends Gold moved up into third. St Barbara from last got the fourth wide out, then Desert Marauder, and a length and a half further back is Ripping Nick within 5 of the leaders coming around the turn. Lara stands here in front of Sky Tip. Desert Marauder is staying to the inside to challenge, and then Ripping Nick and St Barbara. Lara stands here tackled by Desert Marauder. Desert Marauder's got up on the inside and hit the front now from Lara stands here, and then Old Friends Gold and Sky Tip with Ripping Nick making ground the inside. Desert Marauder is clear though, and Desert Marauder won it by a little over 2 lengths. Old Friends Gold might grab second just in front of Ripping Nick, then Lara stands here, Sky Tip, St Barbara, Gulf Mistress, Make a Stand and Infinity last in. Well, this was a good thing licked last time out, Desert Marauder, in the race that Rinky Dink won. Ran only 6th, but was very badly balked for a run. And today, Ryan Martin played for a little bit of luck, switching to the inside, and she powered away. Just her third outing, a maiden going into the race, and the other little disadvantage was that Ryan could take no claim, and she carried the full 52 and everything in the race claimed. So that's a run full of merit. First time naturally that she'd been on a wet track. Her first up run at Geelong was quite a good one behind the divot when she led them up, and a much better run last time out behind Rinky Dink. And she's improved yet again here today. Good solid win, and adding that string to the bow that she can handle the rain-affected ground. Second placing, number 5, Old Friends Gold, Jason Benbow. Third, number 7, Ripping Nick, Blake Shin. Just didn't have the right brakes today. She misses the start very often, and that played into the situation again today. Fourth in, number 4, Lara Stancer, who led them up and headed early in the straight. She battled away okay. Sky.
So, nice win that, Desert Marauder. Thanks, Greg. After the running of the 6th, and Ryan Martin, Old Friends Gold, Ripping Nick at 102.40 will be that trifecta. After race 6 at Mooney Adelaide Guineas, where Almost Never is the short price favourite. Let's get the late mail now from Cherie.
Selections here are 1, 10, 13, 14. You just can't go past number 1, Almost Never. Obviously pulled up very well from its Tasmanian wins. Huge run last start and down 4.5 kilos. Very short at the toe and here at the track, but is entitled to be.
To run. Set now for the Port Adelaide Guineas. They're racing, and Maui Boy began well from barrier number 2. He's the early leader. Zingo's pressing on with Orango. Tingy Rana booting through, and Opio Miss is going to ease and take a trail. From out wide, Fangio goes forward, then Imbruglia, Honours Jeune, Almost Never. Deeper still on the course, Dana Lager and Lex Luthor. Getting back to third last, Free Friday. Grayson Favour went to second last. And last of all, as they head into the back, is Our Perfect World at the 1300. And one of the 6 Tony McAvoy runners, 2 of them in fact, share the lead. Fangio on the outside of Zingo by 2 lengths. Third is Imbruglia. In the centre is Orango. And over on the inside was Maui Boy. 2 lengths to Roll On Royce, who's running in 7th position from Tingy Rana, and then came Honours Jeune. Over on the inside as they come by the 1,000 metres was Opio Miss. From on the outside, Lex Luthor. 2 away, Dana Lager. From Free Friday, Almost Never third last. Second last is Our Perfect World, and Grayson Favour is last of all as they come to the 800 metres in the Port Adelaide Guineas, and the leader clearly now is Fangio. He drew out a length in front of Imbruglia. Third is Zingo, and fourth Maui Boy coming away from the inside from Roll On Royce, Tingy Rana. Then came Orango, and Opio Misses moving around the outside, coming into the action. Further back, Honours Jeune being scrubbed up. Dana Lager was next. Almost Never taken wide. Free Friday sneaking home on the rails. Following it through Our Perfect World, Grayson Favour trying to get to the outside inside the favourite Almost Never. They give the leaders 7. It's Fangio, Imbruglia, Roll On Royce strode up to them. Deeper out on the track, here's Dana Lager letting go. Tingy Rana got out. Roll On Royce rolled to the rail. Tingy Rana through a clear gap. Dana Lager. It's Tingy Rana going after Roll On Royce. Roll On Royce still in front. Tingy Rana's diving. They reach the line. Maybe Roll On Royce. Roll On Royce, maybe a nose to Tingy Rana. And third on the outside was Dana Lager from Free Friday. Opio Miss, Honours Jeune, Zingo. Almost Never didn't come on from Imbruglia. And then Our Perfect World, Grayson Favour. And then further back to Fangio, Lex Luthor, Maui Boy, Orango in 150.60 for the 1800. Roll On Royce, who had a stint in Victoria under the tutelage there, or the care of Tony McAvoy and Gary Fennessy over there in Melbourne. And to be honest, he's been disappointing. He didn't do a great deal. He was leading in his races and getting run over, admittedly by horses of the calibre of Little Baldy, who'll be one of the favourites, if not the favourite, in the St Leger tomorrow at Flemington. So you could probably say he was down a bit in class. He was certainly in the betting, and he'll hang on for mine. Roll On Royce at 19.20 and 4.50. He's back in SA under the care of Gary Kennable, and Jared Lorenzini continuing his great success. The numbers are on the frame: 6, 14, 13, 15. I'll repeat those: 6, 14, 13, 15. A short half head by 3/4 by a long neck.
It was a big finish. There was a few hard luck stories in the race too, but Roll On Royce gets the prize. Tingarana and Dana. Now, correct weight Mooney Valley, Desert Marauder, Ryan Martin over Old Friends Gold, Ripping Nick, 21.20, 31.10, 102.40. The trifecta there. First 4, 332.90. Okay, of 8, 5, 7 and 4. Ascot, Exchequer, all the rage here. They are getting them in. Support for Diamond Rhythm at 5.90, 6.80 Field Commander, and Bon Argent firms now to 8.70. Although it looks like they'll run late. They're only just arriving there at Ascot. And a small field that shouldn't take long to move them in. A break. Back with more shortly on Sky.
starting out to terrific odds on track. And look, I just think he's a genuine improver. He's really come on from one run to the next this preparation. I'll lean his way at a bit of odds. The big tip on track, and the best backed runner is number 4 Viking Tour from the informed John O'Shea stable. He's a lovely Danehill colt, this fellow, and look, he'll go forward and give himself every chance. A big drop in class here. Best of the rest, the horse from the country, number 6 True Crown, only lightly raced. Form around him's okay in the bush.
On it late. Memsical scoring in race 6. Hugh Bowman from 7 Arda Christina, 8 My Check Chicken, 4 Star of Gibraltar. Other winners today: Zum, Jimmy Cassidy, Martique, Chris Muntz, National Treasure, Chris Muntz, Artificial J Ford and Almar, Chris Muntz. So Chris has had a good day, as has trainer Gay Waterhouse. 3 winners each. Now we've got Hasta Manana, True Crown and Han Suyin to move in. Han Suyin, an interesting runner, 1 star to win at Kembla. True Crown looking for the hat-trick like Grandaz. Bernie Howlett from Canberra training True Crown, who has Matthew Carl aboard. So still True Crown, Han Suyin and Hasta Manana, the 3 to load up at the 1600. Racing here again on Monday. The Anzac Services Cup, the highlight. Now, only 2 to move in. Han Suyin and True Crown. Ooh, a little bit of trouble wide out there. One of them getting a bit stirred up. Han Suyin's right. True Crown joins the stalls. And in the Maytag handicap, we'll soon see action. Starter wasn't ready. He went off his stand to go over towards the outside rail to check something. Everything seems to be okay with him. Back to the starter's ladder. Pont du Gard behaves well. They're ready. There they go. Immediately Regal Fun and Stay Like a Dane go out the back, and the favourite Viking Tour straight to the lead from Hasta Manana. Han Suyin the third, and deeper out is True Crown. A length further back, Grandaz. Over on the rails next is Sadler's Song. A length and a half then to Regal Fun, Stay Like a Dane. And the last pair of Pont du Gard and Sam Sung a Song. Viking Tour at the end of 450 metres. The leader a length and a quarter on Han Suyin. Hasta Manana running third. A length further back in the field is True Crown. Then Sadler's Song racing over on the inside of Grandaz. A couple of lengths further back is Regal Fun, followed by Stay Like a Dane. Over on the inside is Pont du Gard, and Sam Sung a Song is absolute as they work their way to the halfway marker at the 800. No change in the order, and the leader with replacement rider Chris Reith aboard. Viking Tour out a length and 3/4 Han Suyin, 1/3 Hasta Manana, followed by True Crown. 2.5 lengths then to Sadler's Song, who's parked over on the rails, and then Grandaz. Another length and a half or so. Sam Sung a Song very wide, very wide out here, followed on the inside Pont du Gard. Under the whip, second last as they come around the home corner, Stay Like a Dane, and Regal Fun is last. They enter the stretch, and the leader is Viking Tour. Han Suyin sitting a length away second, and then Sam Sung a Song, who's coming right down the outside with a good run. At the 200 marker, Viking Tour, Chris Reith has had to go for the whip because on the outside, Sam Sung a Song descended. Han Suyin can't match Sam Sung a Song, and away goes Sam Sung a Song, racing in great fettle, and Sam Sung a Song easily from Han Suyin and Viking Tour. Then Pont du Gard, Sadler's Song, followed in by Hasta Manana, and then came True Crown. A good margin to Grandaz, followed by Stay Like a Dane, and Regal Fun brought up the rear.
Number 1, Sam Sung a Song for Brad Pengelly, getting home there at 5:30 and 190. Second, 7 Han Suyin, and third has gone to 4 Viking Tour, so 1, 7 and 4 at Randwick. Long at 7:30, down to Dane Shakira on 580. Royal Shiraz is at $11, and before it, Degeneration at 980. That race coming up in about 6 minutes at Doomben. All right. Now let's have a look at them in the yard here at Doomben, and that is number 1 Cataclysm, who's one of the fancied runners, coming off some group form last start. 2 before too long, looks very good, very speedy mare, and she'll give them she'll give backers a great sight for sure. Jimmy Byrne is on number 3, and that's
So another local horse here, Bicyclala, very, very fast filly this, or mare I should say. I've got it in for third. A couple others I thought looked particularly well was the 2 Before Too Long. Now, if it doesn't go too hard, it's the leader. It's going to help here today. And one other horse I thought looked particularly well in the enclosures, the 10 Miss Goldie Horn.
here from Gary Portelli on the chances of Before Too Long at Doomben.
Well, Gary, got a couple up here for this nice race, 100,000 to tempt you up there?
For sure, there's not many races that are worth that sort of money for fillies and mares. When they do come along, you've got to try and make sure you've got one, as I've got 2 in it.
Yeah, you're going for the double whammer here. Well, look, we'll talk about Before Too Long. Well, it's quite well known that she goes a bit hard, and you know,
10 Dane Shakira's at 5.10. Now they're all in the gates. They're all set to go. Stand by for a start. Starting signal has been given. 1,200 metres the distance. Big field. Racing now, Vivid Mist near the inside was one of the first to go. Royal Shiraz began quickly, and Before Too Long's going fast. So is Degeneration. Avon Jules up in that leading division, followed by Sacred Hill, Callaway Gal, Cataclysm about midfield from Miss Goldie Horn. Then comes Cotton Braid, Dane Shakira getting back on the fence, followed by Star of Flight, Rosmarino, Chicken Little, and Tell Dawn is last. Past the 800 metres, Vivid Miss leads from Degeneration. Before Too Long, 3 deep outside the speed. Avon Jewel, 4th, Sacred Hill, 5th on the inside from Cataclysm. They're closely being followed by Miss Goldie Horn, Royal Shiraz, Dane Shakira takes the shortcut on the fence. Then Star of Flight, Rosmarino, Callaway Gal, Chicken Little, followed by Cotton Bray and Tell Dawn. Around the bend, 400 out, Vivid Miss the leader from Before Too Long, followed by Sacred Hill. There's room for Dane Shakira on the fence. Cataclysm into the clear, Miss Goldie Horn down the outside. Vivid Miss in front at the 200 metres mark. Sacred Hill after it. Dane Shakira's on the fence and Star of Flight in the middle. Vivid Miss the leader. Here's Star of Flight. Star of Flight after Vivid Miss. Star of Flight grab Vivid Miss close to home. Star of Flight beat Vivid Miss. Sacred Hill 3rd. Dane Shakira 4th. Cataclysm 5th. Then Before Too Long, followed by Chicken Little, Rosmarino, Royal Shiraz, Tell Dawn, Avon Jewel, Miss Goldie Horn. A long way back in the field, Cotton Bray, Callaway Gallon. Last home is Degeneration.
Michael Rod on the winner, Star of Flight, who's charged home to run down Vivid Miss, and a Sacred Hill 3rd. Would have been a big thrill for young Kylie Cunningham if she'd been able to get Vivid Miss home, but Star of Flight, who's been racing in very good form, has now made it 2 in a row and picks up the $100,000 race at Doomben. Righto, that's 15, 17 and 3 after race number 7. Next up will be Moonee Valley, and we'll be heading back to Alfred some late mail soon. The 7th is a welter over 1,500, and Star of St Covert at 6.30, 7.50 for Zero Drama, Mythological at 5 even, Quench at 10, 9.50 Ashkelonte, and Twilight Rose at 9.90. Number 9 Lattes at 5.60 and Karaka Angus at $12. So that race is due in 7 minutes, and we'll be getting our thoughts on that very soon. Now at Randwick on race 7, correct weight's gone through, 174, trifecta $112.20, and it's right to pay at Randwick.
Kate looks a lot fitter today, so I've included it. 3 ahead of 9, 4 and 11, and as I mentioned earlier, Dean, most of these horses have in fact shifted out in the market to a minor degree, apart from number 11 Civil is the only one that's
$3.30. Now horse number 10 in the race, and that is Gilly Marg. Gilly Marg is trained at Murray Bridge by Frank Lane. It's quoted at $12 at the moment on the tape board, but let's hear from Frank Lane, its trainer, on its chance. At 2.10 ahead of Magic Aces and Later. This is the St Ledger from the west, and it's coming up in 16 minutes over 2,400 metres. Let's go to Moonee Valley and join Greg Miles for race 7.
Dean Caparella joining us also. Thank you, Dean. Twilight Rose just going up into the gates there. Favourite in a wide betting race is Mythological. There he is in the Cerise, made up a lot of ground at Sandown. First up from a spell, and he is a second up winner in the past. Stephen King is the rider here. Most open affair. 7, 3 and 8 in the quaddie. Desert Marauder, very impressive, I thought, in winning the previous. Coming up Serpentine now. Mythological to get set, and we await Latte and Zero Drama, and we'll have them right to go. Zero Drama's had 9 starts at Moonee Valley, yet to win here. 6 times second and a third. 2 to move in then. Had some slight drizzling rain, which has blown clear. Heavy for Flemington tomorrow, though, for St Leger Day. 5.3 the Pinot there. First event at 1:05. Now, Latte coming up into the gates. Mythological holding favouritism. Most of them have been easy. Latte's been quite a drifter. A little bit of late money for the top couple. Star of St Covered and Zero Drama. All in now. Set to go. Line looks good. They're off. And Vic by the Jug a touch slow on the inside. Star of St Covered began well, and Mythological got away very swiftly. Karaka Angus up there too as they settle down, followed by Latte. And running up to the first turn now, Twilight Rose got back to about third last on the rail. Zero Drama's deep and at the rear. And Vic by the Jug speeds into the back straight, fired right up and leads by 2 or 3 Karaka Angus. Star of St Covered in third placing, 3 lengths away. Mythological, they're running it very hard early. Next is Quencher, followed by Latte. Zero Drama trapped out wide and looked to be pulling. 2 lengths further back in the field is Civil, the outside of Escalante, and then Twilight Rose on the inside of Serpentire. At the 800, Vic by the Jug away from the rails, leading by 3 Karaka Angus. Star of St Covered on the outside in third placing, and he's being followed by Mythological, who's getting a beautiful run into the race, and then Quencher and Zero Drama. Back behind them, Latte, Civil pulled out wide, and then 2 lengths further back, Twilight Rose, Escalante, and Serpentire at the 500. Vic by the Jug leading only narrowly now. Star of St Covered second, but under pressure. Mythological and Zero Drama go past him. Civil's putting in a run wide. Karaka Angus and Twilight Rose is making ground to the inside, and then came Quencher. Round the turn now, Vic by the Jug gone, and Mythological and Zero Drama hit the lead together, followed by Civil. Quencher out wider, and then Twilight Rose. Zero Drama put the nose in front of Mythological. Quencher wide out's coming hard. Quencher's hit the front from Zero Drama, Mythological, and then came Civil, but it's Quencher in front near the line, and Quencher, too good, 1 at 3/4, Zero Drama. Third placing Mythological, then Twilight Rose, Civil, Karaka Angus, followed by Vic by the Jug. Next in Latte, and then Serpentire, Star of St Covered, and Escalante last in. Well, it's been a long while since he has won a race, but Kieran McAvoy has got him home, a double for Kieran in his final day riding in this country for some months. Quencher, trained by Tony Vasil, wins his 9th race, and he breaks quite a drought. That one for Quencher, his last victory was here over the 2000 in May of last year. So he was certainly due to break through for a win. Had a short freshen up, and he ran 5th last time out, which was quite a good run in a slowly run race. The pace was against him that day. He hit the line well. But the wet track was a bit of a query for him. He'd had 6 runs on rain-affected ground before and had managed a couple of placings but hadn't been able to win. But a fast run race like that, when he can just sit off the pace and round them up, he's suited, and he certainly does like racing here at Moonee Valley. He's had 26 starts here now for 4 wins and 12 placings. Second, Zero Drama, he pulled very hard and he was caught wide, so his effort was good. And third, Mythological had every chance. Time 1:34.1, numbers are 4, 2, 3, and 4th in number 11, Civil. Civil ran 4th, and 5th home was Twilight Rose. Quaddy today, 2,834.30 for 7,384, $2,834.30. And